Have you ever found yourself wondering, do they really know what they're doing? Because sometimes it seems like they're completely oblivious, almost like they're clueless to the chaos they've caused. And yet, other times they drop little hints. They slip up, say just enough to make you wonder if they're revealing something on purpose. It's confusing, because there are layers to their manipulation. Different masks they wear, different things they like to hide behind or peer out of. It's like a twisted game of peekaboo. One moment they vanish behind the mask of innocence. The next they're looking straight at you, letting you know, yes, I'm still here. For those who are more awake, more aware, you know what this is. You know they're not dumb. You know they're not innocent. You see right through it. It starts to feel like you're dealing with an unruly, rebellious child. One who misbehaves, causes havoc, then turns around and says, I didn't do it. What are you talking about? And while their behaviour might seem childlike or harmless on the surface, it's not. It's sinister. Because deep down they know exactly what they're doing. It's evil, it's calculated, and it's meant to harm and confuse you. When you confront a narcissist, they will often look at you wide-eyed, like they have no idea what you are talking about. They act clueless, innocent, completely unaware. But deep down you know it's fake. You feel it. Because sometimes they say or do things that make it clear. They do know. They're not stupid. They're not confused. They're hiding. So why do narcissists act innocent and play dumb? Let's go deeper. Here are 10 reasons why they do it, and what they're really getting out of it. 1. To avoid accountability. Narcissists fear consequences, not just because they don't want to be punished, but because it threatens their fragile false self. If they're forced to admit they're wrong, the mask cracks. And underneath that mask is something even they can't face. So they play dumb. I didn't know. I don't remember. Because the moment they're held accountable, the illusion dies, and they can't survive that. 2. To control how you see them. They know they're not lovable. Not in their real form. They believe the real version of themselves is unwanted, disgusting, and empty, so they hide behind confusion and fake innocence to make you see someone else. Someone harmless, soft, maybe even endearing. They don't want you to see the predator. They want you to see the victim. Because if you ever saw the truth, you'd leave. 3. To avoid rejection. They reject others constantly. But when it comes to being rejected themselves, that's their deepest fear. Acting clueless is a defense. It keeps you around. It makes you think, maybe they didn't mean it. Maybe they didn't understand. They want you to keep explaining, keep fixing. Because as long as you're doing that, you're still attached. And that means they still have power. 4. To hide their real intentions. They know what they're doing. They manipulate, they provoke, They lie, but they also know if you ever saw that, if you saw how deliberate it all was, you'd never trust them again. So they hide behind fake confusion. That's not what I meant. You're reading too much into it. It's a cover because underneath that act is a very calculated mind. Five, to stay in control of the relationship. When you're confused, you're easier to control. You start doubting yourself, you second guess your feelings, and suddenly they're not the one being questioned, you are. They act like they don't get it, so you keep trying to explain, trying to fix it, trying to reach them, but they're not trying to understand you. They're trying to weigh you down, so they can stay in control. Six, to gain sympathy and lower your guard. Acting innocent gets you to soften. You stop being angry. You start feeling sorry for them. You comfort them instead of confronting them. That's what they want. They play the lost little child, the misunderstood soul. Because when your heart opens, your boundaries close, and that's when they strike. Seven, to drain your energy. This is deliberate. They want your time, they want your focus, your emotional labour. Because every second you spend trying to explain yourself, trying to make them see what they've done, is energy you're not using to protect yourself. They drain you so you can't resist them, so you collapse into compliance. Because tired people don't fight back, they surrender. 8, to cover up their shame. Beneath all the arrogance, all the bravado, is a deep, toxic shame. They know they're a fraud. They know they're not who they pretend to be. And they hate it. But instead of facing it, they run, they act innocent. Because pretending to be good is easier than admitting they're not. It's not just a lie to you, it's a lie to themselves. Nine, to escape the punishment they know they deserve. They know they've hurt you. They know they've crossed lines. They know they've lied. But if they can act confused, if they can convince you it was a mistake or a misunderstanding, they get to escape the consequences, because deep down they believe the truth. If they were ever seen for who they really are, they'd lose everything, and maybe they should. 10, to avoid being truly seen. This is their worst nightmare. Not being ignored, not being abandoned, but being seen. Because they know if you saw the entitlement, the rage, the emptiness, you treat them as they are, not as they pretend to be. And they know the real version of them isn't special, isn't worthy, isn't lovable. It's disgusting to them. So they hide, they pretend. Because being seen, being treated like the person they really are, is worse than death. So next time they act innocent, next time they play dumb, don't fall for it. They know exactly what they're doing. And now, you do too. If this video helped you see things more clearly, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. It really helps the channel reach more people who need this. If you're looking for one-on-one coaching, the link is in the description. And if you'd like to support the channel, you can make a donation using the link below. Thanks for watching, take care, and I'll talk to you soon.